Welcome to the JLLB Media Podcast, episode 26. We are diving headfirst into the future of strategy, specifically what the marketing landscape is going to look like in 2026. Our mission today is all about strategic foresight. We've been digging through a ton of research to pull out the 5, let's say, non-negotiable predictions that you, as a decision maker, really need to get your head around right now.
And that strategic foresight, that's the crucial differentiator.
Yeah.
I mean, as 2025 closes out, the goal has to shift. It's not just about reacting to quarterly results anymore. It's about anticipating these huge technological and behavioral waves that are about to hit. If you're a business owner or a marketing lead, knowing this isn't just about staying current, it's about competitive advantage and making sure your budget isn't based on, assumptions that are already out of date.
We've all learned that the hard way, haven't we?
Yeah.
The digital landscape is basically quicksand. Adaptability is it's paramount.
Yeah.
We saw privacy regulations completely shift the foundations of advertising. And then platforms like TikTok and now Threads, they force this constant, intense recalibration. The sources we looked at are all saying the same thing. 2026 demands not just flexibility, but a real foundational commitment to change.
That's precisely why we call it future-proofing.
Yeah.
Outdated strategies, they're not just inefficient, they are really costly. So if you can anticipate these 5 trends, you gain this massive advantage. You can allocate resources better. You can train your teams with the right skills before the market even demands them.
So you're ahead of the curve.
Exactly. You're ahead of the curve. And you make sure all that creative energy is focused on what will actually resonate in, the very complex world of tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're here to distill that complexity down into something actionable.
Okay, let's unpack this. Prediction number 1, it really centers entirely on technology. We're talking about hyper-personalization beyond segmentation. We have to start here, I think, because the age of the generic email blast is, it's officially over.
It truly is. Sending a message that says, "Dear first name," just because you bought a shirt 6 months ago, that's not personalization anymore. That's just, basic hygiene.
Yeah.
What 2026 expects and what the tech now enables is leveraging advanced AI, and this is critical, real-time behavioral data to deliver truly individualized content and offers at scale. The emphasis is absolutely on real time.
So if I'm a business owner, I hear hyper-personalization. And I'm thinking, my CRM system already does this. But what you're saying is the technical bar has moved way, way higher.
It has. The actionable insight here isn't just buy better software. It's about overhauling your entire data infrastructure. Most CRMs, they rely on batch processing. The data gets collected, crunched, and then used maybe 24 hours later. That's just too slow.
Way too slow.
True hyper-personalization needs you to unify all these different data sources, website activity, app behavior, social media, support tickets, into one single real-time view of the customer. You have to be able to predict their intent in the moment.
That makes the investment decision a lot clearer. It's less about a shiny new marketing tool and more about a foundational commitment to clean, unified, real-time data. So what does success even look like here?
Success is when the customer feels seen, not tracked. Think about dynamic website content that changes the main image or the products it recommends, based not just on your history, but on the article you literally clicked on 5 seconds ago.
Oh, wow.
Or tailoring a social ad to reference a product they left in their cart an hour ago with a unique one-time offer. That level of precision and speed, that only comes from advanced AI fueled by that unified data. It's moment marketing that feels like mind reading.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because while that's about data, our next prediction is about experience. So let's move to prediction number 2, the rise of experiential and immersive content. It's a direct response to digital overload, right? People are craving experiences, not just another static ad.
Exactly. We've all hit that point of ad blindness. Brands have to find ways to make their content memorable, and memory is built through interaction. This means things like augmented reality try-ons or VR product demos and content that actually engages the user. The line between digital and physical is it's dissolving.
Now, this is the point where a lot of small and mid-sized business owners start to sweat a little. They're thinking, I don't have Nike's budget to build a whole metaverse thing. So is this just for the big enterprise companies? We have to talk ROI.
Not at all. And that's the key. The actionable insight here is all about scale and simplicity. VR is out there, sure, but the low-hanging fruit is an accessible, interactive content. Think about how a simple AR filter on Instagram lets a makeup brand show colors on your face instantly.
Right, I've used those.
Or how a furniture company can use a 3D configurator to let you place a couch in your actual living room with your phone. The cost for these tools is dropping fast, and the return is huge because the consumer is actively spending time with your brand. That increases dwell time and, of course, purchase confidence.
So the strategy isn't to go out and invest in headsets, necessarily. It's to prioritize interactivity in the channels you already use. Start small, see what drives engagement, and then iterate. That feels much more manageable.
Precisely. If content is king, then interactive content is the ruling dynasty. It's about making the customer the protagonist in your brand's story.
And speaking of powerful tech, let's connect the dots. The huge data needs for that kind of personalization and the complex rendering for these immersive experiences. It leads us perfectly to prediction number 3, the elevated role of AI. It's moving way beyond just automating tasks. It's becoming a genuine strategic partner.
Yes. In the past, AI was mostly for basic stuff, right? Scheduling posts, optimizing email send times, maybe writing a rough blog draft. By 2026, AI is indispensable for high-level decision-making. We're talking about true predictive analytics guiding the entire campaign design.
The entire campaign.
The whole thing. AI will analyze market conditions, social sentiment, what your competitors are doing, even macroeconomic signals, and then it'll suggest not just what to create, but where to put your budget for the biggest impact.
That is a fundamental shift in how marketing teams operate. I mean, if AI is handling all that complex optimization, what's left for the human strategist? It sounds incredibly powerful for efficiency.
It is. The actionable path here is integrating AI into your strategy for things that require processing these massive, complex data sets. You can use it for real-time audience sentiment analysis to understand the nuanced feeling about your brand, or for sales forecasts that can even incorporate external things like weather.
So the human role changes. It moves from executor to, what, a curator?
Exactly. You manage the AI's output, you challenge its assumptions, you refine its models, and you focus your human talent on high-level creativity, ethical oversight, and building relationships. AI enhances human strategy. It doesn't replace it.
But it certainly means we need to be upskilling our teams to manage this new partner.
Absolutely. If you're not training your team to work with AI as a strategist, you are going to miss the boat.
Now, this is the pivot point. We've talked about data, immersive tech, strategic AI. But what the sources consistently show is that the more advanced the technology gets, the louder the consumer demand becomes for the human element. So predictions 4 and 5 are the essential counterbalance. Let's start with number 4, authenticity and values-driven brand narratives.
This is a huge societal shift. It's driven heavily by younger generations, but really it's pervasive now. Consumers are increasingly basing their purchase decisions not just on product quality, but on a brand's values and its ethical stance. For 2026, authenticity moves from a nice-to-have to a genuine business risk if you ignore it.
And consumers will not tolerate value washing.
No, they won't. This puts a heavy, heavy emphasis on transparency. It's not enough to run a campaign saying you care about sustainability. You have to prove it with verifiable actions, openness about your supply chain, your operations. So the actionable insight is to rigorously articulate her brand's mission, its social impact, and then prove it. Transparency builds trust, and trust is the only sustainable currency in this tech-saturated world. Show customers your processes, how you treat your employees, your commitment to the community. Your storytelling has to be built on these values.
Which connects perfectly to prediction number 5, the return to human-centric connection. We have AI-powered hyper-personalization, which is great for efficiency, but it can feel cold. This connection is the emotional tether.
It's the ultimate counterbalance. The more automated we become, the greater the pull toward genuine human connection. Practically, this means a massive prioritization of community building, ensuring customer service feels truly personalized. Even if AI assists the agent, the interaction has to feel empathetic and a shift toward really authentic influencer collaborations.
So if I've invested in all this AI for personalized service, how do I make sure that interaction still feels human and not like I'm talking to a robot? What's the practical focus for listeners here?
Prioritize building real, interactive online communities where there's actual dialogue, not just you broadcasting messages. Also, empower your human customer service teams. Give them the autonomy to solve problems without sticking to rigid scripts. And critically, when you're choosing partners, move past the big celebrity endorsements that just feel transactional.
To micro-influencers.
Yes, focus on micro-influencers whose values perfectly align with yours. You get smaller, more credible endorsements that foster genuine dialogue and trust. It's all about the quality of the connection over the quantity of your reach.
All right, let's bring it all back together. We have these 5 major shifts: hyper-personalization, immersive experiences, AI as a strategic partner, values-driven narratives, and human-centric connection. It's a lot to process. What is the overarching lesson for preparing your business for 2026?
The lesson is harmony. You have to strategically integrate these trends, but you have to understand that the first three, the technology, they must serve the last two. Humanity and trust. Your brand story and your customer relationships are still your most valuable assets. These technologies are just powerful new instruments to enhance those relationships, not replace them.
So don't chase every shiny new object.
No, start small, experiment, and focus on the trends most relevant to your specific customer base.
Now, navigating a future where you're managing AI strategists and trying to figure out the ROI of AR try-ons, that can feel incredibly daunting. It's a heavy lift for any business owner to integrate all this while still, running a day-to-day.
It is, and you absolutely do not have to do it alone. The gap between knowing about these predictions and actually translating them into an actionable, budget-appropriate plan, that's where most companies get stuck.
And that's where the solution we found in the source material comes in. JLLB Media specializes in helping businesses develop these forward-thinking marketing strategies. They help you leverage these emerging trends, especially that complex interaction between tech and trust, while staying true to your core brand. They translate these big predictions into measurable, actionable steps.
And that kind of strategic guidance is available across the board. They work with a whole range of organizations, nonprofits, small businesses, startups. Strategic foresight is for anyone who wants sustained growth.
So if you're feeling motivated and you're ready to turn these 5 predictions into a concrete 2026 strategy, we invite you to contact JLLB Media today to learn how they can work together with you to drive results for your business. They'll be happy to answer your questions during a complimentary discovery call. It really seems like the essential next step to get a powerful head start.
And as you think about that, here is one final thought for you to mull over. It builds on this idea of authenticity and AI. If artificial intelligence can perfectly personalize content to individual needs, delivering exactly what one person wants to see in that moment, does that make it easier or harder for a brand to maintain a singular, core, authentic set of values that consumers are demanding? What stands out to you about that tension between hyper-personalization and transparent authenticity?
A fascinating dilemma. That is something that will define success in the years to come. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the future of marketing strategy. We'll catch you next time.